Well, today we wanted to show you the progress that we're making on our cat housing improvement here at the Ames Animal Shelter. My name is Ron Edwards. I'm your animal control supervisor here for the Ames Animal Shelter and Animal Control Program. We're very excited about all the changes that we're making today. As you can see in this room, we have several kennels where animals are kept when they come in as strays. We have a total of 10 regular cat housing kennels, so these are kennels for stray cats to come into. You see one here is for Cheerio, that's a cat that's in here. And then we have 2 cages back here that are for feral cats. Those cages are used for cats that come into us that are not well socialized and need extra time to come around. Some cats are just scared when they come in here to us, so it's really important that we have additional housing for them. And currently we only have 2 of those cages, as you can see. You can also see up here on the tops of the kennels we have extra supplies. We really don't have any storage inside this room. And then over here we have our kennels that the police department uses when they bring in animals overnight, and especially cats. They would go here in these kennels. They fill out paperwork, give us information, and then we follow up with them first thing in the morning when when they come back on duty. But as you can see, there are supplies on top of these kennels, but it's just a storage challenge for us, and the cats are in very, very close proximity to each other. So if a cat were to be sick, it could easily spread that to another one. So it's very important that these cats are kept as far apart as possible from each other. And we're very excited to show you the new mobile housing unit that we have for cats. And Abby's going to show you a little bit about that and talk more about our cat housing unit.
Alright guys, so this is our finished office space that we converted into the intake housing for our kitty cats. The room has been, actually the whole building has been dubbed Purr Villa. We actually got on our Facebook page and asked for some input on what we could call this room rather than calling it that building out back. So this is now Purr Villa, which is fitting since it's all for kitty cats, as we've mentioned. So there's been some of those changes that we talked about planning out, which was the increased housing. The kennels were smaller, a little bit more close together, harder to maneuver around, harder to clean. So now what we've done is we've got all of these cages they don't face each other anymore. So there's no more concern about a lot of disease happens across kennels. If a cat's sneezing, it's projecting that sneeze outwards. So the way we have this room set up, there's no face-to-face contact anymore between cats, which is going to help, like we said, with the disease, but it's also going to help with the stress level too. When they come in here, seeing other cats is stressful for them, and so by having them set up this way, that's not a concern that they have to have anymore. We also did something really cool with these kennels, which is we portalized them, and what that means is we purchased these plastic circles with swinging doors that we had help from Iowa Home Consulting and the city's Fleet Services office to cut holes into the stainless steel cages, and this round plastic circle is put in there with a swinging door and allows the cat to have access to 2 kennels. But it also gives us the ability that if we do start to get full, we can close that portal door, clean the one side, and put a different kitty in there. Also is nice for kittens. Kittens are messy creatures here, so it's nice when we do have the ability and the space to have the kittens have their litter box on one side, food and water, and playing space on the other side. It's not a perfect solution to the mess that is baby kittens, but it does help a lot, which is good for their health and obviously easier for the staff too. So, and one of the things in this room too that we were really passionate about is making sure that this room was just as comfortable, just as safe as the main building. So this room, of course, has full air conditioning and heating to keep them comfortable. We also even put the music in here. If anyone's visited the shelter before, during visiting hours, you'll hear that there's actually a classical music that plays that helps the animal's stress level. We put that in here too. So these guys have that. We have food and water out here if we need to top anyone off. It really is just the same as the other building, just in a different place and set up a little bit differently. And the flooring that's in here, Iowa Home Consulting actually did quite a bit of work in here for us. They helped us out with resealing the windows to keep the building from getting drafty, and they put down these really nice laminate floors. It's actually one solid piece, so that way it'll help with the cleaning, helps us keep things sanitary, and obviously just looks a lot better than the old tile that was down underneath there. So this is our cat intake room. Kitties stay in here usually for their first 7 days if they arrive here as a stray. Sometimes owner surrenders will stay in here too if they don't have any medical history. We need to get them vaccinated. This room's really about keeping the main population of animals ready to go up for adoption healthy. And then we have our feral cat room too that has expanded, which we can show you guys that as well. All right, so this is our feral cat room. These cats are all part of a program we have called the Working Cats program. So what we do, a lot of times we'll get in cats that have never been around humans before. They've lived outside their entire lives, but the city of Ames doesn't allow roaming cats. So and not every citizen enjoys having cats coming to their backyard and causing problems, and they are a problem sometimes for the wildlife. So what we do here is they come here to the shelter. We get them fully healthy, so we get them spayed and neutered, rabies vaccinated, tested for feline leukemia and FIV. If they have any intestinal parasites that we find, we treat them for that, as well as any external parasites as well. And the reason for all of that is so the animals can be as healthy, the cats can be as healthy as we can possibly get them before they go to their new home. And what that new home typically looks like is it's someone who has a barn or a warehouse or a garage or somewhere safe that they have, that maybe they have a nuisance with mice or sometimes even bugs. Sometimes bugs are a problem that the cats can take care of too. And so they have the benefit of, they don't really, most people when they're in that kind of scenario, especially in barn situations, they're not worried about them being friendly cats. They just want them to come live on the property and be functional for them and work for them. So that's why the program is called the Working Cat program. So this room houses those cats. It was really important to us that we have a separate space for these guys because the whole reason they are this way is because they are stressed and scared because they don't know that we're friendly and kind to them. We do sometimes build a bond with them by feeding them and interacting with them more, and we have had several that have tamed down here and been able to go out and be adopted into normal family homes, but some just aren't that interested in that, and that's okay. So one of the cool things this building did, not only to get them separated from everyone else, so they're not having to listen to all the kittens that are coming in and playing or be exposed to all the other sounds of the other cats, is by having this separate space for them. We also were able to, originally in the very first room that you saw, we only had 2 of these. This was it. This was all we had for feral cats. And if we got more than one in, they had to live in one of those cages. And that's A, not a whole lot of space for them. And B, it doesn't really allow us to use the tools that are important when working with these guys, such as these, we call them feral cat boxes. They're a plastic, safe, easily to sanitize box that they can go into that has a little porthole that we can swing closed and open again to clean safely. That tool was really hard to use in a smaller kennel. So by having these, we've actually multiplied these up to 8 kennels now. So we went from 2 to 8, which is amazing. Hopefully we'll never have them all full. If you're looking for a working cat, we always seem to have 1 or 2 or more available. But so this opportunity for them, you can see they have their litter box over to the side, which Zabel is deciding to sit in right now, which is a common thing you see with stress with cats. So, but he has the opportunity to sit over there. He could be in his feral box. Having these cages, like we said, just really helps us to maximize the ability to keep them as stress-free as possible, which also allows us to keep them healthier too, which is ultimately the name of the game, is to leave them better we found them and get them out and get them into responsible homes. And this room doesn't have any cute kitties in it, but it is still a really cool room for us, which this is our additional storage space. So this allows us to have supplies that we can keep out here that are specifically to be used for the animals in this building. And it also has given us some storage opportunities to bring some of the supplies over from the other building as well. Trying to reduce the clutter, trying to keep things clean, easily accessed, so that way we can better serve the animals. So one of the things this room has allowed us to do is to be able to have whole foster kits we can send home with foster families. In the past, we just have kind of had a bin, kind of like this, that we kept everything in, and then we'd kind of scramble to get everything, and sometimes something would get missed sending it home with someone. Now we have the racks to have space to be able to create separate bins, so each family can take home a whole checked out bin, which is something we've wanted to do, but there just wasn't space for it. So it's been really nice to have that. We have easy access, kind of exotic animal supplies too. You guys might remember we had a big hoarding case back in August of 2019, and one of the things that made that so hectic for us was we didn't have a whole lot of these supplies, and the couple of supplies we did have we weren't able to access easily because they were tucked into the back of an inappropriate storage area. So by having this, these supplies are easily accessed, so we can get animals set up, get them situated quickly, which helps us reduce their stress level too. I know it seems kind of crazy to think that increasing storage helps reduce animal stress, but it's really important for us to be able to have the supplies we need and to be able to access them quickly. So by having this room, these shelves used to be crammed into a tiny little room. We had maybe 3 of them. Now we're up to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 racks. So, and we still have some additional space in there from where these racks used to be. So it's been really, really nice to have a room for all this kind of stuff. And like I said, believe it or not, it actually helps us reduce the animal stress.
So that's Purr Villa. We want to thank our partners in animal care, Iowa Home Consulting, for helping us put together Purr Villa. We're very proud of the extra space that we have here for our feline friends that are waiting for their forever homes or for their original owner to come and get them. For all of you dog lovers out there, don't worry. Within the next few months, we're going to be replacing all of our dog kennels, and want to thank the Ames City Council and City Management, City Manager's Office for approving that replacement, which is pretty expensive for 14 dog kennels. So we're going to get brand new dog kennels for our dogs, be much better than what we have now for them. And so we're really happy to be making these improvements here at the Ames Animal Shelter. We're really happy and very thankful for all of the support from the community in allowing us to do the work that we can to save as many lives as we can. Thank you.